Hi everybody, this is Boog S Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the highly anticipated McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Collector's Edition Power Girl figure. So before we take a look at Power Girl, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the accessories that she comes with. So first up, she comes with your standard DC Multiverse base, and because of her heels, she does benefit from using this. I have been able to get her to stand without this, but it is kind of tricky, so this is one figure that definitely benefits from having this. Up next, you get her data file. I believe this is David Nakayama's art. That looks pretty cool. And if you want to read that, go ahead and pause that now. Up next, you get Streaky, and this looks really cool. The paint there on the side, I wish it would have been printed on. I feel like it looks a little too perfect. But I think this looks good overall. You get some touches of pink in the ear and on the back paw right here. And the cape, you get a real fabric cape for him. And that looks very awesome. I think McFarlane Toys did a really good job on this. Up next, she comes with a set of fisted hands. Up next, she comes with an alternate set of accessory holding hands. These do look like gun holding hands though, since she does have the trigger fingers there. I don't think it was honestly necessary for McFarlane Toys to give us these hands, since she doesn't come with anything to hold, unless you want to give her some weapons from the McFarlane munitions pack. And finally, she comes with a set of open hands. And I forgot to mention that these hands switch out very well. Sometimes the hands can be a little tricky to switch out, but these pop off really nicely. They don't feel like they're going to fall off, and they don't feel like you're going to break them when switching them out. I think it's just right. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt. So taking a look at the head sculpt, I think McFarlane Toys did a really good job on this. I think it's a lot better than the promo pictures do it justice for. All the details that are printed on look really nice. You get a little bit of variation on the cheeks and nose there. I feel like it's a little more subtle on her cheeks than it is her chin. I feel like it's a little concentrated right there. But I think this head sculpt looks really good. I think it kind of looks like Jamie Presley a little bit. I feel like the head sculpt, having it in hand now, it's kind of realistic looking now that I have it. I think the hair is also sculpted really well, and you get some highlights painted over top of it. That looks really good. It's a very subtle, darker shade of blonde. But yeah, I think this head sculpt looks really good. I think McFarlane Toys did a very good job on this. So taking a look at the rest of the figure, I think it looks just as good as well. I really thought this reused more parts from Superwoman here. So I did want to show that off. The only thing that I can see that she actually reuses are the arms and the thighs down to the knees. Everything else is all brand new sculpted parts, and that makes me really happy. I thought maybe the gauntlets were reused, or the bracers there. But nope, we get new glove pieces here. So yeah, most of this is brand new sculpted parts. You do get a little bit of reuse, but that doesn't bother me. I think it's actually a really well done reuse on the parts that are reused. All of the lines on the suit are sculpted really nicely. I do wish she would have had a touch of yellow on her belt. Even on the art card, she does have the yellow on her belt there. You get a completely wired cape, and I think this looks fantastic. And since it's wired at the bottom, it gives you extra posability for it. I think the only other figure that's had that has been the video game Superman figure so far, and that's probably my favorite wired cape that McFarlane Toys has done. And this is a close second because it's wired all the way around. It looks really good. The only drawback is the way it's attached is pretty noticeable. You can see that the neck piece up here is separate and it's glued down into the chest right here. Well, I think the cape is glued down and then the neck is glued down on top of that. And it's really noticeable. The shoulder pad right here is a separate piece, so it does hide it on the left side. But yeah, on the right side it is pretty noticeable there. That's really the only complaint I have with this, is it's really noticeable where they glued the cape down there. The material for the diaper piece here feels a lot more pliable than anything we've got on previous DC Multiverse figures. I think the articulation is really good right here because of that. Hopefully they use this more pliable material on more DC Multiverse figures in the future. She even has some really good sculpt detail to her boots right here. You get some touches of gold that look really nice. And I don't remember seeing these boots used before. I believe these are brand new pieces because I don't recall any other female McFarlane figures using this. And then you even get tread sculpted on the bottoms of her boots there. So yeah, I think this has some really awesome sculpt detail. There's not a whole lot of paint detail to it, but there really didn't need to be. I think it looks really good as is, and the articulation really surprised me. So now let's go ahead and go over that. So she has a ball-jointed head that can look up all the way. She can look down all the way. She can move her head side to side and all the way around. She has ball-jointed shoulders that can move all the way out. Really nice butterfly joints. She has a swivel at the bicep, double-jointed elbows that can bend all the way in, wrists that can move up and down and spin all the way around. The torso is one solid piece till you get down here to the ball-jointed waist, and it can move back that far forward a decent amount, but you do get a little bit of gappage back here. If you have the cape down like this, you really won't notice, but yeah, you do get some gappage. She can move side to side very nicely and all the way around. She can do a complete split. As I said, this piece right here is really pliable, so she can kick forward that far. She can kick very far forward. She can kick back all the way. She has a really nice thigh swivel. Double jointed knees that can move back all the way. Ankles that can move down all the way, up all the way, and spin all the way around. I will say, I do wish she had some toe articulation. It's kind of weird that McFarlane Toys chose not to give us any toe articulation here. Maybe because the way the boots are shaped. So that is an odd choice. But other than that, the articulation on this really surprised me. I think McFarlane Toys did a really good job on that. So now, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. So first up, here she is next to Superwoman. And as I said, you don't get as many reused parts on this new Power Girl as I thought we would, and she's quite a bit taller than her. Here she is next to Superman, and man, she is quite a bit taller than him. I feel like she's a tad bit too tall. Here she is next to Wonder Woman, and now I'm just realizing how tall Power Girl really is. She's taller than Superman and even Wonder Woman. Here she is next to Psycho Pirate. Here she is next to some fellow Justice Society members, Alan Scott and Mr. Terrific, and we actually have quite a few more of the Justice Society. There's some figures I don't have, but McFarlane Toys is actually getting pretty close to finishing the Justice Society. And finally, here she is next to the Platinum Hawkman figure. So overall, I would highly recommend this because I think McFarlane Toys did a really good job on this. I think the articulation is great. That really surprised me. The wired cape, the completely wired cape is fantastic. The paint works good. It doesn't have a whole lot of paint to it, but I still think it looks really good. And the head sculpt is definitely better in person than I thought it would be. I didn't have a problem with it to begin with, but seeing it in person, it looks so much better than the promo pictures. The only real drawback to this figure is she is very tall, like really noticeable once I started doing size comparisons. I know that will bother a lot of people, but it doesn't really bother me because I'm not really going to have her in a vanilla pose. I'll honestly probably have her in a flying pose on a flight stand, so that really doesn't even bother me. So, that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.